Supervisor Pinches, as was directed originally in Gualala meeting, to work with the CEO and the APCO and come back with some language for us to adopt on the next meeting, which is the, what, 18th?
18th, yes.
Well, if I'm going to be involved with helping adopting this,
Right.
the wording I'm going to put in there is we're going to oppose this until, as Supervisor Colfax brought out, until it's been fully addressed and mitigated, you know. I mean, I can go along with that. So the only thing I would be wordsmithing, as Supervisor Smith said, I like a lot of the factual information that's in here. So it would be basically just talking about the final, be it further resolved. That paragraph there is the only thing that I would be interested in change, and that would be to impose it until the time that those issues are. I really think that all the way from the governor to our legislature and the members on the Air Quality State Air Resources Board don't really understand that it will shut down the state of California. I mean, it will virtually shut down, and the cost is such a large amount that even the state of California, with all their borrowing ability, couldn't borrow enough money to pay for it. So I think they've just kind of got into this because it sounded like, yeah, we're going to fight global warming and this is the way we're going to do it. Well, I think there's a lot of other ways than putting everybody, you know, families and the ability to make a living, I think is an important asset to the state too, not only good air.
So what's the direction of the board? Going to have a total rewrite? We're going to oppose this in wording? What's the direction? Supervisor Colfax.
I hate wordsmithing, but if we address Supervisor Pinches and probably the concerns of the members of the board and recognition that this is a major issue, if we wordsmith it and scratch request that the California Air Resources Board delay and simply say the Mendocino County Board of Supervisors opposes implementation. That's paragraph 3, plus until its impact has been fully addressed and mitigated. Further, be it resolved, the Mendocino County Board of Supervisors opposes implementation of in-use heavy-duty on-truck, blah, 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 until such time as mitigations of the economic impacts on rural communities have been included in the air toxic control measure. That gets the opposition clearly and directly stated. I think the rest of it is adequate. But that gets the opposition, and that says we want action that addresses Mendocino County and rural counties' interest and the interest of the people who will be impacted. Supervisor Delbar, you're going to have to go and argue it. If you feel you want to do more of this, it'd be quite appropriate for me to pull that back and say, put something together you can work with. But I'd just like to get it moved along. We've discussed this over and over again. And I think part of our discussion results from the frustration that we're experiencing having to deal with the Sacramento bureaucrats. I think we have to acknowledge that and move on.
I certainly concur. Is that a motion, Supervisor Colfax?
If Supervisor Delbar can support it, because he's the one that's going to have to go there and represent us. If he wants a rewrite, go to it.
I support this. I think the word opposes in there, I think, is all that the supervisor needs to convey that message.
I'm fine.
Yeah. Could you read what Supervisor?
Good idea.
First of all, I guess the first thing is, through the chair, is that a motion that Supervisor? Then I would second it, and then we could read it to make sure we all understand what it says.
Thank you, Supervisor. Madam Clerk.
So the motion would be to introduce, to adopt the resolution as amended. And in the resolution itself, the last two paragraphs would say, now therefore be it resolved, the Mendocino County Board of Supervisors opposes implementation of the in-use heavy-duty on-road truck air toxic control measure until such time as the economic impact on rural communities has been fully mitigated.
Addressed and mitigated.
Addressed and mitigated. And be it further resolved, the Mendocino County Board of Supervisors opposes implementation of the in-use heavy-duty on-truck on-road truck air toxic control measure until such time as mitigations of the economic impacts on rural communities have been included in the air toxic control measure.
Okay, is that good? Everybody understands the wording? We are taking a stance of opposition. Any additional comments?
I think this is the next big one. I would certainly encourage everybody on this board to vote for this measure because of its importance. And I think a unanimous support of this resolution will go a long ways.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any other discussion? Call for the vote. All those in favor of the amended motion wording signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, the motion does pass unanimously, and Supervisor Delbar, you have your direction on your testimony.
Go get him.
Okay, we're running quite a bit behind schedule here. I do believe if the water agency would allow me one more indulgence, that we have, where is it? Item, and is she here? Yes, she is. Item 6F. This is adoption of resolution